So here's a little routine to follow along to loosen up your upper back, your spine, your neck, arms, your hips, some of the big hitters. So we'll build on this over a few sessions, but this is how it began. We took the tennis ball, we placed it just on the outside of the thigh with the palms straight down. You can do this standing, you can do this kneeling. So to begin with, we kept the pelvis still. We led with the head, and segmentally we rippled down through the spine without bailing out of our tube, so we didn't just collapse over. Rotating back up. So head comes down, let it come into the upper spine, down until it gets to the lowers. Head's the last thing up. And again, head drops, it leads the domino effect down. Roll the ball down your sides, and it comes up. From there, keep the head level. Eyes are staying level. As that arm reaches down, we get a lovely stretch through the neck, rolling back up again. And again, dropping down, neck staying on the horizon, relaxing both shoulders, and back up, and again, and coming back up, changing arms, leading from the head. So segmentally we go up and over, through the mid-back, down into the lower rib area, rotating back up, rotating, side bending back up even, all the way straight, one by one. So the facets closing on the left, opening on the right, and coming up, the head being the last. One more time, head goes up and over, upper back, mid-back, lower back, rotating all the way up again. From there, the head stayed still, the eyes stayed on the horizon, and again, we just let the arm come down, the ball rolling. Feeling the space between that left shoulder and neck start to open up, and a lovely deep stretch into that. And one more rolling down. And coming up. Now we can take that into a split stance. So from there, let's put the left leg forwards, the right leg back, about hip width apart. The back heel comes up, so you're grounded through the first and the fifth metatarsal heads there on the back leg. Pelvis is underneath ribs, and just let that left knee soften forwards to lengthen its hip flexor. Again, from there, just put the ball on the side of your hip, and we have two options. We have lead from the heads, so that rolls down, and we have keep the head level as that rolls down. From here you can also play with the hips, letting the hips start to shift out and away, letting the hips stay level as you just reach down. So play with all of those, just having some fun. Straight down. I think video has been photobombed. Right, Pickle. So right leg forwards, left arm to your sides. Again, soften into the right knee, heel lifted on the back, left knee straight, weight coming into the right, and just bring that pelvis underneath your ribs to make sure that your hip at the back is extended. Same thing with the ball. We roll it down. We can have the head following. We can have the head staying horizontal. We can have the pelvis moving out. We can have the pelvis moving out with the head leading. Whoops. And we can have the head staying level. The pelvis staying straight underneath. Head staying level with the head leading. Cool. From there, we can take this seating, or we can take this kneeling. You're going to take your hands, place them on your temples without your lower body moving. So you might want to take something, squeeze it between your knees just to make sure, something like a yoga block. and you're going to rotate your torso to that first point of bite. So you could power through it, but you notice the tension builds, and that's the first place we're going to start. Now, if you imagine a piece of glass in front and glass behind, as you rotate, that glass moves with you. So you're going to keep your side bend within that new glass position. Take a breath in, take a breath out, come back up, keeping that rotation. You're going to rotate to the next point of bind. Side bend over, big breath in, big breath out. Come back up, last one, rotate to the next point, up and over, breathe in, breathe out. Back to the center. Same way to the left now, so rotate to the left. First point, side bend over, breathe in, breathe out. Come back up, keep the rotation a little more. Side bend over, big breath in, and out, and up. A little bit more. Side bend over. Big breath in, big breath out. Coming back up. From there, we worked the flexion extension. So I want to do this sideways on. And again, you can do this in a chair, you can do this kneeling up, you can do this standing up, whatever's best for you. Interlock your fingers. Place them around the ball of the head at the back. That way, if you look up towards the ceiling now, unless you're really, really flexible, these arms are going to block the movement, and you have to start to lift your sternum. So if the fingers aren't locked together, they can just slide apart and you can just bend your head with no upper spine movement. So link them together. We're going to begin by just lifting the sternum up towards the sky. There's a tiny bit of extension coming in my lower back, but I'm trying to spread it through the whole spine, all the way up to the top of the neck. From there, we just let the arms come in. We start by tucking the chin back towards the neck. We're not pulling on the neck, but we just segmentally roll down as you bring your sternum straight down towards your pelvis. So we're not just collapsing the bottom back, we're just flexing the spine. So from there we come up again, open the elbows, breathe in as you start to extend up towards the ceiling. And then breathe out as you come back down again, starting with the neck, rolling down through each vertebrae. So this time we're going to help with the facet joints, the joints at the back of the spine sliding. So open up. This time as you extend through the spine and breathe in, just gently pull down with the back of your hands as if you're gliding all of those joints down on each other like a load of roof tiles sliding down. And then this time as you come back, lift the back of the heads to then pull it back, and then open, 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 open as all the joints slide the other way. Again, from there they start to close, 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 open the elbows, extend up, breathe in, and just allow them to slide down, and pull up from the neck, over, all the way down. Cool, so that was getting flexion and extension. We worked on side bend, we worked on rotation, so we're going to stick them all together now. I'm going to steal this chair from Bobby. Bobby can stay in the sunshine, matey, can't you? So from here I'm going to hide that because he'll eat it. From here we're going to do a mid-spine controlled articular rotation, they call it. One arm across on one shoulder, one arm across on the other. And to start with, you're just going to flex down, just like we did in kneeling. So you're going to bring that sternum straight down towards your pubic bone, basically. From there, you're going to rotate to your right. So keeping that flexion, rotate to your right till you come up to a block. From there, think about taking your right shoulder blade down towards your right back pocket, which will side bend your spine to the right. From there, with the sternum, you're going to lift the sternum up towards the sky and draw a line across until you come down and put your left scapula in your left back pocket. So we side bend left, flex down, keeping that rotation left, and then come all the way back down to the middle. Back the other way, rotate left, side bend left, lift that sternum up, draw a line, right shoulder side bends down, rotate into flexion, and then rotate fully back to the left. One more time each side. So we flex down, rotate right, side bend right, extend up and over, through the sternum, side bend left, flex, keeping that rotation left, then begin to rotate right, back to center, and again to the left, side bend left, extend that spine up, side bend right, rotate right, all the way back, and rest. Good. From there we went into our cat-cow variations. We had a few with these, and we decided that this was going to be our best friend to help guide each individual vertebrae to be able to move into flexion extension. So if you've just got one bone for a back, then we haven't got a huge amount of movements. So we're going to start at the lower back, place the band around that lower back and just put a little bit of tension into it. And then from there, we just tucked tailbone under to just feel the segment that the elastic band is on being able to move. Now this one has a habit of rolling, but if you get it a bit flatter, it will stick to your back a bit better. And then you can bring them up another vertebrae or two and do the same thing. Thanks, Bobby. Starting from the sacrum, flex up to the next one, let him come down, rotate him up, extend all the way down, flex up into that elastic band, and come down. Then we can take them up a bit higher. We'll keep going with this. And again, from the sacrum, legs under, and then from the rubber band, bring it back. So tuck under, flex up vertebrae by vertebrae until you put your extension into that band, and let the band drop down, and then let the vertebrae follow. And we've got some more. So that bra strap area now. Tuck under, tuck under, tuck under. Into that bra strap area. Let the bra strap come down. Then let the domino effect carry on. And again, tuck under. Into the bra strap. Bra strap extends. Press follow. You get the idea of that one. All the way up the spine. From there, we found the easiest way, sorry Pickle, the easiest way to segment all of those vertebrae was to sit back on your heels, place your hands on your knees, straighten your elbows and lock them out, and then stay tall through your spine. From here, all we did was tuck the tailbone under, and so it's going to start from here, and you'll feel your vertebrae start to flex, one by one by one. And as they flex, you're going to start to feel your spine start to lower as you get closer to the ground. And then you're just going to let your head finish off the movements. Then to come back up again, you start from your pelvis, you rotate it under, and you go lower back, middle back, start to lift the sternum, start to lift up through the chest, start to look up ceiling. And you can lead it from the top, so the chin comes back, rolling down, one by one, mid back, coming into the lumbers, coming down all the way into the sacrum. And if you wanted to lead it from the head, you could coming back up again as well. So you start to bring it back up. Sternum, mid thoracics, and lumbar. Cool. Play with those to find yourself a lovely working spine. Next, we went into our Z stretch, so we started going into the hips. Now, for this one, we need something reasonably low. This is probably a little bit high, but it'll be good for demonstrating with. You place one knee behind, so we've got a flex knee and we've got an extended hip. And remember we said if you tilted your pelvis forwards, if water was coming out, you lose the stretch. So think about bringing your pelvis underneath your shoulders. And as that happens and brings everything in, that stretch begins to build. As soon as you let it come back out again, you lose it. So just give them a gentle nudge forwards. Build the stretch in there. Once you've found that position of pelvis underneath the shoulders, you want to build it some more. Think about that front knee. Think about bending your shin to bring it towards the mat. As that happens, the knee travels forwards and it pulls this into more extension, so you feel the stretch build. There should be no compression in that lower back, otherwise it just means you've probably done this to make it look brilliant, but taking the stretch off the hip. So find that stretch, build it in. You're going to hold it there for about a minute. You're just going to breathe with it. And when you start to feel that stretch becoming a little easier, then you just take this knee and bring them a bit more towards the mat, build them back up again. Anyway, once you've done that minutes, we're going to start to build the contraction. So with this back leg, in order to fire up this muscle, you've got two options. One is to start extending the knee, which will mean pushing your foot down into the couch behind you. It's not going to move anywhere. That does one bit of the contraction. The other one is it's a hip flexor. So now you think about pulling that knee forwards. Even though it's stuck to the ground, the intention of pulling it forwards should give you a contraction quite high up there in your quads. And so hold that for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that position. From there, lock your hands down. Don't let anything else move, and I just want you to try and pull your heel off your bottom, towards your bottom. And you pull it up, it might move a millisquiggle, but not much, and hold it there for 10, 9, really pull, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, rest. Ease it off. Gently come up. Feel that lovely loose hip as you walk. Feel how tight the other one is. And then we will do the other side. Thanks, Bob. So if I move this round here, same thing. We're going to put the left one back, the right one forwards, and build the stretch. Hips come under, knee comes forwards, and you get a lovely stretch in that back hip. You're going to breathe into that for about a minute or so. And then when you've got that minute, you're going to brace on, get nice and strong, start to push that back foot down towards the floor, pull that front knee forwards, and hold for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Freeze there. Pull that heel towards your bottom for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax it. Stand up and find your new hip. Now, I can hear Oscar crying, so cut in the middle. I'll be back with the rest of the workout.